What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got some more NBA news to talk about with you guys. This time actually revolving around Victor Oladipo, with it actually currently being reported that the Brooklyn Nets are actually interested in potentially making a trade for Victor Oladipo. So the official report says teams like the Lakers and the Nets could pursue Victor Oladipo this offseason if he hits the trade block, per Eric Pincus. So we've also kind of heard that there's a rumor that the Indiana Pacers might be actually looking to kind of trade Victor Oladipo. There's been a huge issue recently with Oladipo and his contract. For those of you who haven't heard, there's actually been a thing going around that what it's kind of being said is that Victor Oladipo was offered a 4-year deal by the Indiana Pacers worth, I believe, about $20 million per season, so $80 million all up. But he actually declined it, kind of, pretty much going out there and saying, well, I probably want $22 to $25 million. And I think that's what a lot of teams kind of sense that he's possibly going to be wanting now. And I don't necessarily think the Pacers think he's going to come back in the next offseason, because I believe Oladipo has about a year or so left on his contract, and there's been a lot of rumors recently as well that he could be very interested in joining the Miami Heat in the 2021 offseason. So I think this would be a very interesting idea by the Brooklyn Nets, and honestly, I don't really think they would be able to, get him for that much at all either. But I just think that, considering, I'd say Caris LeVert is kind of just a taller, discounted version of Victor Oladipo, I feel like they would definitely maybe kind of look to, well, not necessarily trade him, but I feel like the Pacers would really want to maybe bring Victor Oladipo, bring Caris LeVert rather, on the team, as it just makes a lot of sense for potentially both teams. So Caris LeVert has actually gone out this season, is averaging 18.7 points per game, 4.2 rebounds, and 4.4 assists on 36% from 3 on 29.6 minutes per game. So again, that's pretty good numbers, but it doesn't really tell the story that I just don't necessarily know if Caris LeVert can play on a team where he isn't the number one option. Like, watching him with Kyrie Irving this season, it was sometimes pretty hard to kind of see. Like, it's not even just Kyrie Irving either. Like, a lot of people give Kyrie crap for not having good chemistry with his teammates, but Caris LeVert didn't always work exactly the greatest with D'Angelo Russell either. So I'm not exactly too sure. There were times where D'Lo and Caris LeVert looked like the next big duo, but then there was other times where they just looked not exactly that good with each other, and it kind of worries me that if they keep Caris LeVert and try and make him to be their third best player with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, it just makes me really think that that's not going to work at all. Like, he needs to be the number one scoring option on his team, like the number one prioritized player, and I feel like he would definitely get that at Indiana. Yes, TJ Warren and Malcolm Brogdon and maybe Domantas Sabonis would actually score more than what he would, but I definitely feel like he'd have the ball quite a fair bit of times, and it's not like TJ Warren needs the ball in his hands to be good. He's a very, very good spot-up shooter that can also create his own shot when receiving the ball, and he never brings it up. And obviously, Domantas Sabonis is a forward/center who doesn't need to bring it up as well. So again, he and Malcolm Brogdon, I think, would be actually a pretty nice duo, as well as Malcolm Brogdon can definitely play a lot of off-ball and would definitely, I feel like, let Caris LeVert have the ball in his hands quite a bit on the court. So I definitely feel like that is an option the Pacers should be exploring, and it makes sense for the Nets as well, as they could potentially be bringing in Victor Oladipo, who not so long ago was expected to be one of the best young players in the league and was looking like a future star before injuries obviously did hit. So in 2019, he played, 19 games. He started 16 of them, only on 27.8 minutes per game. Really took a backseat and kind of played behind Domantas Sabonis and, again, TJ Warren, etc. He really did take a backseat, and he only averaged 14.5 points per game, 3.9 rebounds, 2.9 assists, and 31% from 3. And obviously, he played a lot of games on minute restriction, just being a very, very injured player throughout the last, season or so. The season before, he played 36 games on 31.9 minutes per game before getting injured on 18.8 points per game, 5.6 rebounds, 5.2 assists on 34% from 3. And he's obviously was an elite defender in the league. So those numbers plus the elite defense he was putting up, he was absolutely outstanding, and that wasn't even his best season. The season before, he was on 34 minutes per game, 23.1 points per game, 4.3 assists, 5.2 rebounds on 37% from 3, as being maybe a top 5 defender in the league that season. He was absolutely insane, and honestly, I definitely feel like without, the injuries coming his way next season and being on a new team, I definitely feel like he could be a very, very good player for the Brooklyn Nets. If he becomes their third star, he's obviously not going to average 23 points per game, but if he's averaging 18 points per game with 4 assists and elite defense, you're damn well going to notice it, and that is going to be a extremely good big 3. So that would be absolutely insane if the Nets could get a deal off like this. Now, what it would most likely be like, I have a feeling it could potentially be Caris LeVert and maybe a first round pick and a second round pick or something like that would actually get the deal done, because again, I don't really... it's like Victor Oladipo doesn't exactly have the most amount of value due to his injuries and all that type of stuff. And again, I'm not exactly too sure how high Caris LeVert's value is, because a lot of teams know now that he needs to be like the focal point of the offense to be really, really efficient. So again, I think that both players' value have dropped very much within like the last year or so. They both had injury issues, other concerns, all that type of stuff. But Oladipo is also going to be a free agent. He'll only have one more season once he potentially gets, well, if he gets traded. So there's been a lot of rumors on that front as well that he might be potentially joining the Miami Heat. So teams will definitely be cautious about that. And if the Brooklyn Nets gave away Caris LeVert, a first round pick and a second round pick or something like that for a player they only had for a season, then I definitely think that would have been a massive risk and all of that type of stuff. Like, even if the Brooklyn Nets compete, even if they win the championship, even if they don't, there is still a chance he could potentially join the Miami Heat in the offseason, as Miami are very, very good as well, and he has shown heaps of interest in wanting to play for them. And there's even been reports that he could actually request a trade potentially to the Miami Heat. So I would definitely not write that out of the book as well. So again, if the Brooklyn Nets could actually trade for Oladipo and even get, 90% of what he was from that breakout 2017-18 season, then watch out. That big 3 is going to be absolutely insane. So that could definitely be very interesting to potentially see. But anyway, to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for all the latest NBA news and NBA content. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/long channels. Links for them will all be in the description down below. But also don't forget to check out my podcast as well if you haven't already. Links for that will also be in the description down below. But as I was saying, I have to thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.